bought this TaoTao scooter for $250 and it didn't run. But with a few new parts, a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of love, I got it to actually start and run. So the new things that I had to add to this scooter to get it to run were a new carburetor and a new fuel pump. So what I got now in the scooter is $250 to buy the unit, $8 to get a new fuel pump. I already had the carburetor on hand. I already had a bunch of them laying around, so I just had I put that one in. That's a wash. Some people would probably stop right here because I did get it running and try and sell it and make a little bit of money. But I'm not quite happy with how this scooter runs. And on top of that, there's another big thing that I didn't even consider when I bought this scooter, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So just to make sure that we're actually getting an improvement, I'm gonna take this thing for a test drive right now, and I'll kind of talk you through it as we go. It's not starting. How wonderful is that? After a few minutes of me pounding my fists and cussing at this scooter, I decided to calm down and I couldn't get it started. I think the carb is clogged up. I think there's some junk from the gas tank that got down in there. I gotta take the carb off, gotta clean it, because the parts that I need to install actually go to the carburetor. So I'm thinking, why not just do this in one rip? We know it does about 26 miles an hour, so I'm thinking, let's toss the new intake gasket on, because that is where I'm thinking the issue is. It's got a really high idle. So I think there's a leak in the intake. I was getting the carburetor all cleaned out. I got it put back into the scooter, and I was super excited because I got it running, guys. At least I think I did. I got it going. It's going. Picking it up for the first time, it definitely feels like it's slow, and I can prove it because my main competition and something that could definitely beat me is that lawnmower right there. That thing is faster than the scooter, and I can almost guarantee it. You can hear the revs come up and then they immediately just kind of die off. Like it revs out nice right at the beginning as you take off, and then it just starts to slow down. And on top of that, I have to do something very embarrassing. I have to drive next to a school bus where all of my insecurities from being a child are coming true, because I know that there's kids on that bus that are looking at me going, dang, that scooter is slow. So I pull back into the garage as fast as I can. I think we need to add the filter. I don't have the filter on. It's just an open air box right now because that seems to be the best way for it to start anyway, and like keep it going. I'm gonna put in this guy. I'm gonna put this little filter on and see how it does compared to that. I'm gonna take the entire air box off though, just because I hate them with a passion. They're ugly and stupid, I think. But I think this is totally acceptable to sell to somebody and still call it stock. It'll be like a surprise. It's a good thing for them, right? Like, you're giving them more than what they asked for. Like, that's cool, right? Pulling out of the driveway. We got the mailman in front of us. Maybe he can deliver me some speed. That's what this scooter needs. It needs some speed. This thing is a turd. I get some speed up here. This ground is relatively flat, so I should really have no problem going over 20 miles an hour. But this scooter just like, this was the fastest I got it. It was 25 right there. It just hit 25 briefly. It just doesn't seem like it wants to run like great. It doesn't want to go very fast. So I'm thinking of switching maybe the variator weights around just to get it to 30. I know I don't want to mess with this thing too much, and I think it needs a new belt. We're going to pull it back into the garage and continue working on it. That is slow. So I guess there's that. Did 25 miles an hour. It accelerated a little quicker, but still slow. So we're just gonna have to figure it out. Trying to keep the costs down so when we flip this thing, we actually make some profit. But luckily, most of the stuff for these scooters is pretty cheap. Also, it is like the last warm day or one of the last warm days of the season. That's what I was gonna tell you guys earlier. I bought this scooter thinking I was gonna flip it right away. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. I live in Minnesota. It's wintertime now. So, well, it's about to be. There's no snow yet, but it is cold. It is cold out there. Maybe it's just a slow machine. I haven't taken the cover off of the CVT, like the whole transmission of this thing. I haven't taken the cover off for that. I don't know what's under there. Could be roller weights that are keeping this thing slow. Like they could be too heavy. They could be too light. The belt could be just garbage. I haven't taken it off. I don't have another belt to throw on it, so I can't do that today. I do have other weights, but I don't think that would help if the belt is bad. So maybe I'll just do a deep dive in the next video where I do that. The other thing I didn't do was put the spark plug in. So I can do that right now, but I don't know how much that'll change. But we could try it. We'll see what happens. I'll toss it in and see if it, I don't know, see if it runs better. Who knows? There have been crazier things to happen than putting a spark plug in and all of a sudden magically this thing does like 700 miles an hour. Probably not that close, maybe like 30, but we'll see. I just want to hit 30 with it, and then I'll be happy. I don't need to go faster than 30, I just needed to do 30. The new plug is in. I'm about to start it with the camera running here, just in case, I don't know, maybe it starts shooting flames, or I don't know. If it does anything crazy, we're about to find out. So let's see here. Imagine that. It runs normal. That's interesting. Came off the revs a lot faster. Now it's back down to idle. Obviously, different day. We're switching things up, guys, because something happened. I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, it's not that weird because of all the scooter stuff that I do. But what had happened is, you remember in the first video that I had at the new garage here? You remember the first video where I said, sorry about it being messy because there was a garage sale? Well, at the garage sale, I had the black scooter out for sale. I was gonna sell the black scooter, guys. I was gonna do it. I got like 2 offers on it, and I almost took it. I almost did it, but I didn't because I thought of you, and I thought of how important this scooter actually is. What had happened was this woman came up and she said, oh my goodness, that looks like a great scooter. I have the same one in my garage. It's orange, but it doesn't run. And I said immediately, the first things that came out of my mouth were, oh, I can fix it. I know how to do that. And she said, oh, that would be great. I gave her my card, I gave her my number, and I didn't hear from her for months. Out of the blue, I get a phone call from a random number, and it's the one time I decided to actually pick it up. Normally, I don't pick up the random numbers. You know how it is. Hello? And hello? And she's like, do you remember talking to me about the scooter at your garage sale? And I was like, no way. And she said, I'm going to drop it off at your house if that's okay. I need you to fix it. It needs work. Here we are, guys. We have a third Tao Tao in the garage. We have an entire fleet of Tataos. I might start calling it that. That was fun. Tatao. I dug into it briefly. I thought the carburetor was gross, so I cleaned it. That was about it. And I threw a new spark plug in. So I really haven't done a whole lot. I tried starting it again, and then it started blowing fuses. So now we have to chase a short in this scooter. I think that's going to be for a whole nother video because there's too much for me to do on this thing right now, and I don't have any of the things to do it. So the battery from it is toast. It needs a new battery. It needs maybe new wiring, depending on where the short is and if I can even fix it. Another interesting thing that it had was 2 chokes. 2 of these in there. There was one plugged into the carburetor, but it was only sitting in the carburetor. It wasn't actually like screwed in like it was supposed to be. And then the other one was just flopping around behind it. I didn't even see it until we pulled the first one out. It still didn't run. It kind of wanted to run a little bit with the carburetor cleaned up. It fired for like just a second, and then the fuse blew, and then it shut off. We got more work to do, more Tao Tao work. And it's another orange one too. It's a Tao Tao pony. It's a pony. I think this means that I'm like a scooter mechanic, right? Like I'm a professional scooter mechanic? Is that what somebody brought their product to me to fix? I'm kind of a pro. I'm not bragging. I'm processing the thought of being able to say that. I don't think it's possible. I really don't, because I get a lot of my answers from you guys. You guys are the pros. So we're pros together. I'm vicariously being a pro through you, and then vice versa. How cool is that? We're a team, you guys. And that's why it's important that I make these videos, I feel like, because a lot of people have said that I've helped them, and it blows my mind every time somebody says that, because it just feels like what I'm doing is playing around in the garage. Like I'm just having a good time. And I'm happy that you guys are enjoying it, because that means that I'm doing something right. If you guys hit that subscribe button, it'll mean a lot. I really want to grow this channel. It seems that I'm helping people. It's cool to see that I've helped people. So I want to keep doing that. So if you guys could subscribe, that'd be huge. And if you guys really want to support the channel and you really want to be cool, you can become a channel member. I just thought this was exciting. I wanted to add it. It just happened after I got done kind of editing that first part of the video that you guys saw, so I decided to come out and share this with you guys as well. So that's exciting. Oh my God, I'm tripping over Tao Taos. That's how many Tao Taos I have. I got so many Tao Taos. As always, guys, we appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time with 3 Tao Taos.